I have an onion. I have a shallot here, so we chopped up a little shallot. We're going to put that in. Okay, we got some Italian seasoning, about a quarter teaspoon of Italian seasoning and a quarter teaspoon of oregano. And then we're going to put in some basil leaves, some fresh basil.
Smells good.
About 7 basil leaves. We need about 1 teaspoon of Celtic sea salt or Himalayan salt crystals. The salt that you use is really important. If you use like a white regular table salt, it doesn't have any minerals in it, and it's been heated and stripped of all its nutrients. People get high blood pressure from salt and different things that happen is because the body doesn't recognize this as a food. So by using a whole food salt, like a mineral-rich salt, so we're actually getting nutrients from the salt now.
I see.
Which is great about raw foods is everything we use has minerals and nutrients in it. And I'm going to put my lid on again and blend. So we're going to take the sauce now, and with the pizza sauce, we want to not put too much water in it, because if there's too much water, it's going to be soggy on your pizza.
Oh, yeah.
So see that, how it's nice and thick? Doesn't it smell good? Wish you guys could smell that.
It smells so fresh.
All right, so now we have the pizza sauce made. Now we need to make the cheese.
Come back and join us tomorrow for the second half of Pizza Making with Miss Elaina Love, when we'll complete our pizzas with raw vegan cheese and fresh, color-rich toppings. Coming up now is Between Master and Disciples. May the seeds of love, hope, and happiness blossom in your soul. Miss Elaina Love rejoins us again today as our special guest chef to introduce us to the art of cooking without cooking. Yesterday's show featured the first half of making yummy raw pizza, and now we'll complete the pizza pies with raw vegan cheese and toppings.
Okay, so now we're going to make the pizza cheese, and the cheese is my favorite part. If you know how to make a good raw cheese, you're set.
I really have to see how you do it.
Yeah, there's 2 key ingredients that really make a difference in the flavor. So today I've got 2 cups of cashews. You could use pine nuts in there, or you could use macadamia nuts, which are super tasty. And you want to make sure you get really raw cashews, not the steamed cashews. Okay, so let's put in our cashews, about 2 cups in the blender. Start with about 1/2 cup of water, and then we're going to put in miso paste. If you've ever tasted miso, it's got that salty, cheesy flavor. Well, that's really what gives this cheese its great flavor. This is the secret ingredient, and it's mellow white miso. So it's the light miso, not the dark miso. So it's about a heaping tablespoon of light miso. Put that in there. The other secret ingredient is lemon juice. About 1 or 2 teaspoons of lemon. You can always taste it and go, oh, I want a little more lemon. And then about 1/4 teaspoon of the Himalayan salt. And that's just to give it a little different salty flavor. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is blend. What I'm doing is I'm taking the lid off and I'm using the spatula, but what I'm doing is pushing from the sides into the center to create a vortex. I'm not sticking my spatula down onto the blade. I'm going to stop and just add a little bit more water because it shouldn't be that hard to blend. We're still right around half a cup for our measurement on the water. We want to blend that till it's smooth. So I'm going to blend a little longer, and I'm going to add just a tiny bit more water just to... See how it's like almost like glossy,
right.
silky smooth? That's how I like it to look. Now at home, if you have a blender that's not a Vitamix, maybe it's not a high-powered blender, go ahead and soak the cashews first. Soak them for a couple hours in the water, like in the half a cup of water, and that's going to make them a lot softer and easier to blend. I have a little trick that I do that's really fun because you don't need any special tools, you just need a Ziploc bag. I've got one right here, just any resealable freezer-sized bag. We're going to put the cheese inside of it. This is great because the cheese is already melted. Can you see that? We don't have to wait for it to melt. And this isn't just for pizza. It can be used for nachos. You can put it in a lasagna. I have a really great lasagna recipe. And when it's time to make the pizzas, we're going to cut a hole in one of the ends, and we're going to use it as a squirt bag. Like if kids like to squirt cheese on their crackers, things like that. Okay, so now I'm going to grab my cutting board, and we're going to do some pizza toppings. You could really use whatever kind of pizza topping you want, any fresh vegetables. I like things that I know are going to be easy to digest and soft in my mouth. So I've got some yellow zucchini, and I'm just going to slice it real thin. I think I'll cut it in half first and do little half moons. The next thing I'm going to do is a shallot. I like shallots because they're a little bit more flavorful than just like a red onion, and they're smaller. I'm going to cut the end off there, and then you can do like a real thinly sliced shallot. One thing you can do with these is you can marinate them in a little tamari, and that'll soften them up.
Oh, so what is tamari?
Tamari is a wheat-free soy sauce. A lot of people have gluten allergies or wheat allergies, so in all my raw food recipes I exclude anything that would have wheat in it, including soy sauce. So I use a wheat-free tamari, which is organic tamari. Let's do a red bell pepper. I have a really fun way that I like to chop red bell peppers. You just cut both ends off, and then you just take the knife, cut one side like so, and then cut in a circle around the seeds. And then the seeds are out. And then what I do is usually take it and flatten it.